What's going on, homies? Welcome to today's Star Wars Theory. My name is John Solo. Before we get started, for those of you planning on asking where I got this radical t-shirt from, check this thing out. I got it from a site called donkeytees.com. It's kind of a goofy name, but it's really fun to say with a Jersey accent. I don't normally dedicate video time to talking about clothing, but these guys have been especially awesome supporters of the channel. Plus, you guys always ask me where I get my plethora of Star Wars t-shirts from, and these guys have a lot of Star Wars gear, so I wanted to give them a quick shout out. I put a link to their site and some of my favorite products by them in the description down below. Feel free to go check them out. Now, Star Wars fans, we are moving on to the theory. I don't know about you guys, but one thing in Star Wars that has always seemed a little bit off to me is the relationship between Luke Skywalker and his twin sister, Princess Leia Organa. Now, the two are siblings, and that's not what today's fan theory is about. I don't think any fan theory could dispute that. We pretty much got as close as we could to seeing them physically come out of their mother without the movie being rated R. Now, as most dedicated Star Wars fans know, when Episode 4 was originally released, it was just a standalone movie. They left the ending open, showing Darth Vader's TIE fighter spinning out of control just in case they wanted to make a sequel, and lucky for us they did. I only bring this up to point out that a lot of things in Star Wars changed along the way. There's some things in the original trilogy that get contradicted in the prequels and vice versa. Luckily, a lot of things in Star Wars is left open to interpretation, so in a way, the writers were able to get around a lot of these things popping up. For example, Leia shares an intense kiss with her twin brother but doesn't know that he's her twin brother yet, so it's okay. Despite mostly all of these instances working out in some way, it seems that there's one big contradictory statement that some Star Wars fans still aren't totally clear on. How exactly does Princess Leia remember her mother? Here's a clip of the specific scene that I'm talking about.
Do you remember your mother? Your real mother?
Just a little bit. She died when I was very young.
What do you remember?
Just images, really. Feelings.
Tell me.
She was very beautiful. Kind, but sad. Why are you asking me this?
I have no memory of my mother.
So as any Star Wars fan can tell, there are a few things wrong with what Princess Leia is saying, at least judging it from the surface. She says her mother was beautiful and kind, but sad. She hits the nail right on the head. No one is going to argue that Natalie Portman is an angel.
Are you an angel?
What? And no one will disagree with you if you say Padme was a kind person but very sad, especially towards the end of her life. But at the same time, no one would remember all of these things about someone that they spent about 15 seconds with. So what's the deal? Well, Leia's statements in Episode 6 weren't all contradictory of what actually happened. Padme did die when Leia was very young, granted younger than we were initially led to believe, but still very young. Leia doesn't say she remembers any specific experiences with her mother. She's not like, I remember her reading to me as I fell asleep, or I remember sliding right out of her. What she actually says is she remembers images and feelings. That's it. Leia is without a doubt Force sensitive. Her father is arguably the most powerful Force user in the canon universe. Her brother is also incredibly gifted in the Force. According to this theory, Leia, like her brother, also has Force powers, but they simply manifested themselves in a different way, as something called psychometry. Psychometry is the ability to tell an object's past through images and sounds and feelings just by touching it. It's canon that a Jedi named Quinlan Vos had this power. Fun fact for you Clone Wars fans, Quinlan actually makes an appearance in The Phantom Menace. So through psychometry, Leia could develop pseudo-memories of Padme. For example, if she were being held by Bail Organa while he was wearing a shirt that he had also worn around Padme, boom, memories right there. Let's also not forget that she spent 9 or so months inside of Padme. That right there could be enough to feel and understand what she shared with Luke on the Forest Moon. The reason that Luke doesn't have these memories is because his Force powers manifested themselves in a different way. He was able to become a Jedi Knight and an extremely powerful Force user, but because the ability of psychometry is extremely rare, it wasn't attainable for him. One final point that all but confirms this theory is this canon image from Star Wars Shattered Empire. While walking through the old Naboo hangar, Leia feels a disturbance deep inside of her that no one else notices. The reader sees that she's standing in the same place as Darth Maul was when he laid his eyes on Padme and the Naboo pilots. And just by standing there, Leia was overcome with this intense feeling that stopped her dead in her tracks. She was essentially able to experience that event 30 years after it happened, all due to psychometry. So tell me guys, do you agree with this theory? Do you disagree? Make sure you let me know in the comments down below. I'm ready to debate if you guys are. If you enjoyed this theory, make sure you hit that rate button button with a big fat thumbs up and share this video with any of your fellow Star Wars nerds, and hit subscribe for weekly Star Wars related content. I've got all the important links to my sources and social medias in the description down below, so make sure to give those a like or follow. Also, I have one huge announcement to make. Thanks to one very dedicated fan, we now have our very own subreddit. This will essentially be the hub for all things related to this channel, where you guys can communicate with each other and myself. On that subreddit, you can post your own theories to have me critique or have others critique. I could possibly cover some of the theories posted there. If you want to post some memes, or if you want to post pretty much really anything related to this channel, you can. I'll be looking at basically everything that's posted there, so if you want to interact with me directly, that's probably the place to do it. Thank you all so much for watching, and I hope to see you soon. May the Force be with you.